So here we are, part 7, and we have hardly gotten through these lists. I only do one take for my videos, so yeah. As I said, in future when I get proper editing equipment, excuse me, when I get proper editing equipment and when I have like a really good camera and stuff, then I will make better videos. I plan on going back to Sydney and meeting up with other YouTubers. I'm gonna have like fancy intros. I'm gonna have like theme songs and background music and cool slideshows. But I believe my subscribers are very intelligent people with lots of vivid imagination. So as long as the content is legit. Anyway, Richest Man in Babylon. So it's one of my top 5 wealth books. So top 5 wealth books, 1 Minute Millionaire, Click Millionaire, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, Richest Man in Babylon, and there was one other book. It's somewhere on the list. In fact, I'd probably rate it. Oh yeah, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. In fact, I'd probably rate Richest Man in Babylon higher, right? So this is a parable about how there was this guy. It was written a long time ago, like I think in 1927. A very popular book. It's a book even your friends' parents have, like if you're my age, if you're like born in the 90s. So very popular book, very, very mainstream book, very, very good book. So I'm not just a hipster. I don't just recommend rare books. If a book is really, really good, I recommend it. And the other thing about me is I mainly recommend books that have been written, say, at least after the year 2000, mainly 2010 and above. So for me to recommend an old book is very rare. Like I rarely read old books. So if I do recommend an old book, then it's very, 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 very good, right? Very good. Like that 50s book on psychology I recommended. Very, very good. Because I always look for the latest, greatest, most up-to-date information on books. Richest Man in Babylon, a parable about how I think there are 3 guys who used to work together, like the kind of peasants, like low labor, like they weren't rich, whatever a peasant in Babylon used to do in those days. So one day they grew up with someone and that guy left and then he came back. And I don't know if he was the richest man in Babylon or he had just become very rich. And then one of his friends was like, what happened? Like you used to be like us, you used to be a peasant. How did you amass all of this wealth, right? So he goes and starts telling him about the principles of how he became rich. And I don't know if he's the richest man or if the guy is talking to is the richest man. But again, stellar book, really, really stellar. Because most books on wealth, they kind of encourage you to start a business to be rich. I think this book works for anyone. Like if I was going to recommend, if someone is like, tell me a book on principles of wealth, if I'm not going to start a business, this would be it. This is probably a highly recommended book to start with, right? You can start with either this one or 1 Minute Millionaire. Yeah, I would say it's the second best book on wealth. Really, really great book. So it just talks about principles of having wealth, right? Because it says richest, but I think wealth really describes this book. Because I think like one of the things he said is always be insured, right? Always be insured, for example, for anything that you own because you might lose it. I can't remember what the story was, but anyway, always be insured, right? So whether it's your car, whether it's your health, whether it's your house, don't skimp out on insurance, Get that fire protection, that weather protection, that earthquake protection, get it. And another principle which he talked about, which I have used, right, is he talks about like buying things that are of value, like things that last longer than a day. So, for example, I've noticed with like 90% of my friends, or a lot of my friends, especially when I was in Australia, no offense, but they spent like a lot of money going out rather than buying things, right? Like I knew some friends for like a year and they still had the same wardrobe at the end of the year. Meanwhile, I had like almost changed my whole wardrobe because by things of value, what I mean is as long as it lasts longer than a day. So don't really buy food. Like don't eat out a lot because if you eat out a lot, especially in Sydney, you're gonna lose a lot of money. Like I think a plate of ribs at Hurricanes, which is a Brazilian restaurant, Brazilian barbecue restaurant, a plate of ribs is like 50 bob. And that's like a pair of jeans at Just Jeans. And ask yourself, like I still have those jeans, right? I still have the jeans I bought at Just Jeans. One of the other, I bought four jeans from there. One of them was stolen, but anyway, I still have the three jeans from Just Jeans. I don't even remember what the ribs taste like, right? It's just I happen to have a photo, right? I happen to have a photo of the ribs because it was my birthday, I think, but I don't remember the taste. I think one time there's this girl who she asked me if I wanted to walk on the bridge in Sydney or something, and I was like, cool, how much is it? And they're like $200, and I was like, wow, like in my head, I was like, I looked at what I was wearing, and I was like, probably everything I'm wearing costs less than that $200. Like, I had a shirt that was maybe $10, jeans for $50, shoes for $30. I don't think I had my watch at the time. So, anyway, experiences are good. Don't get me wrong, experiences are good, right? Experiences are good, food is good, but I would say learn how to cook, right? Probably the two most important life lessons anyone should learn is how to fight and how to cook, and then how to make money. Maybe how to make money first. Yeah, because learn how to cook because like you'd really, really save a lot of money by learning how to cook. Like people talk about, oh, if you skip the coffee at Starbucks, like I probably had coffee at Starbucks like once in 2 years of being in Australia. So I wasn't the Starbucks guy. I was the coffee at Aldi guy. I rarely drank coffee though. I would only drink coffee if I'm going for dates. So I mean, it's been more than once, but even dates, I would take people elsewhere, like maybe a movie or Thai food. Yeah, one or two coffee dates. Anyway, coffee for me is for dates, not for my pleasure, not for me. Like I'm not a big fan of coffee that much, not anymore anyway. I'll explain the reason some other day. But basically, I think food, if you're a young person, if you're in your early 20s or younger, food is gonna like mess you up. Because seriously, going out like once or twice in Australia is food for like a week, right? But it's not just that. It's like literally people spend so much money on concerts, on booze, on drugs, on alcohol. Save that money, put it in an index fund. I mean, I have go check out those 400 videos on my business playlist. I don't know if they're 400 or like 343. But go check out those 400 videos. They talk about investing and stuff. Put it in an index fund. Instead of buying so many Apple products, buy some Apple stock. I think there's some trading platforms that allow you to own like a fraction of a stock. So you don't have to buy like a full Apple stock. You can buy like a fraction because Apple stock is expensive, right? So yeah, just buy things. So basically you can enjoy things. Like I bought many things. I bought the phone I'm using now, a Nokia 8, very nice laptop, lots of clothes, consoles, a TV, right? Very good 4K 43-inch TV. So yeah, buy things that you're gonna have the next day. That's just a simple principle. And I don't know if it was the same book where I learned this, but it also talked about window shopping, like window shop a lot. Like people try and talk about negotiation, and to me, I think the first step in negotiation is to window shop a lot because if one person is selling it for 800 and another person is selling it to 400, and if I want the price to be 300, I'd have to talk the guy for 800. I'd have to really talk him down such a long way to get to 300. Meanwhile, there's someone else selling it for 400. So window shopping, my biggest tip when it comes to window shopping is never shop for things with money in hand. Like the day I'm going to buy clothes, like the day I'm going to buy a pair of socks, that's when I'll look at the jeans, I'll look at the jackets, and then at the end of the day, I'll buy the socks so that when I'm going now to buy the jeans or to buy the jacket, I'm sure because it's not an impulsive buy. Don't make impulsive decisions when it comes to shopping. Always window shop. And I think I am one of the best window shoppers on the planet, even when it comes to electronics. I always window shop. I always check out like videos for phones. I check out GSM Arena. For phones, I check out GSM Arena because it lists like all the specs of the phone. Like I've never actually bought anything from an advertisement before. I usually just do my own research, watch a lot of reviews, and then I go and buy something. So it usually ends up better. And the other tip from the book is it's always good to plan for money you don't have. That way, if you get money by surprise, you know what to spend it on. So right now, just have a big list. Have a big list of things you want to buy. It can be a short to medium term list or a much more long term list. And when I mean short to medium term to long term, I mean you could have things that cost less than $100. Like $10 to $50 or up to $100, then up to $500, then up to $1,000. I think maybe a lot of things would be less than $500, right? Like most things would probably be $50 to $500, and just plan, right? So even when I got a job, I already planned in advance. Like before I got paid, I already knew I'm gonna buy this watch, I'm gonna buy these shoes, I'm gonna buy this new video game. So you're not left guessing. Like really, one of the best financial tips ever is just do not make impulsive buying decisions. That is the easiest habit to eliminate. Impulsive buying decisions. Always plan how you're going to spend your money. And again, you see, I'm not telling you to be a miser like Warren Buffett. I'm just saying plan how you're going to use your money. Even with food, right? Even with food, if you are going to go out, just plan it. Like literally, all you have to do is plan and say, okay, which restaurant do I want to go to? And don't do it when you have the money. Look at the menus, look at the deals, right? So you say, when I get the money, ribs and rump, that's where I'm gonna go. Or when I get the money, burgers and steak, that's what I'm gonna eat, right? You'll have a much better experience. Because have you ever bought food and it's kind of crappy and you're like, dang, I wish, then you see something that's amazing, they're like, ah, I forgot this was on sale, I really wish I could have eaten it, bought it and eaten it. Yeah, so that's my advice. Just eliminate impulsive buying, and you do that through window shopping and planning how you're going to spend your money. So that way, when you do get money, either through your job or, you know, maybe someone might give you money, or maybe you have a business and you do better than you thought, right? Like, wow, you made profit that was beyond your forecast, right? Plan for that profit, right? If you're a company, you should always ask yourself, if we randomly were given $1 million, how would we invest it, right? So that way, when it does happen, you're ready. You already know how you're going to put that money to good use. And again, that's I think one of the best pieces of advice I can give, because I'm not forcing you not to enjoy life. I'm just trying to tell you to be less impulsive with the way you enjoy life. Okay, there's a little bit of time, so I'll just talk about Blueprint Decoded by Tyler Durden and Mystery Method by Mystery. So these are, well, Blueprint Decoded is actually a video seminar series, and Mystery Method is a book. Uh, Both of these are just for men if you want to try and learn a bit more about women. So I won't say too much on them, but it tries to teach you a bit more on confidence, and maybe if you're nervous about approaching women, or signs that a woman is into you, signs that she's disinterested, date ideas. Very, very good book. Uh, I don't want to go too much into them because they're very, very, very political, like there's a lot of politics. Which other easy book can I go into? I'll go into the graphology one. Graphology, handwriting analysis. It's pretty much like the face reading, except it's handwriting, that you can read someone's personality based on their handwriting. Like, there's the slant, like if it's slanted to the left, then they hold in the emotions. If it's steady, then they're regular. If it's to the slanted to the right, then they express their emotions a lot. Obviously, this doesn't apply to like Arabic or is it Cyrillic, acrylic, or Cyrillic, one of the two writing. The Russian stuff. I don't think it applies. There's the way people like write their words, like whether there's some things you notice when you read it, like whether the words start and they go up off the line and back down, or they write kind of straight up or straight down. It makes more sense. Like this sentence, like get anyone to do anything. Like there's someone who can write get, then the word anyone will be slightly higher. Then to do, like get, then anyone to do, those words will be slightly higher. Then anything will be at the regular line length. That's someone who I think they get excited at beginning of projects, but towards the end they lose enthusiasm. Then if the writing is as if the writing on a line that's going upwards, like diagonally upwards, like get, then anything, anyone is higher, then to is higher, then do is higher, then anything is higher. They get more energy as they go with the project, and towards the end of the project, they're the most energetic. So you kind of want those people. Then again, if let's say the word is get at the top, and then in the middle of the line it's anyone, and then lower is to and do and anything. Yeah, I think those are the people who at the start, they're the ones really bad. So yeah. Then there's the space between words and the space between letters. I can't remember which is which, but one of them is essentially the distance you like to keep between people, right? So the distance between your words is the distance you keep between people. Wow, just go read it because I don't have any photos to illustrate it. Just look up graphology, handwriting analysis. It's just much easier. You can probably watch a short YouTube video on it. There's probably a short YouTube video on face reading as well. So yeah, again, it's one of those debatable pseudoscience things, but it has been studied. Like they use graphology analysis in court cases and stuff. So, take it with a grain of salt. I think it works. I think it works. And it's not just confirmation bias, because the thing is, you can tell when something is working for you or not. Like if someone gives you advice and the advice is supposed to help you understand people better or become more popular or know people, like you can tell, like if the opposite is happening, like if you're reading the graphology, the handwriting, and someone says something and you're like, wait, this is the opposite of what the handwriting is saying, you can tell, right? You can easily tell. So my opinion, I think all of it works. I am a fan of all of them. If I get enough money, like if I'm a millionaire, I will donate research. I'll fund research to proving that it works. Or if I'm being objective, I'll fund research to looking into whether it works or not, right? That's the more objective thing to say. So this is the end of, I don't know if it's part 6 or 7. I'll figure out by the title.